flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another broadcast here for Go Locker. Here for the Veterans for Life ARCA series. Folks, we're going to be at Nashville Superspeedway tonight. We're going to be having our fiddles out and get ready to sing you a little tune tonight. And obviously, it's going to get loud. It's going to get rowdy. That's how we do it here live here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, the Australian Dean Hopton Biggles in the house, going to be producing and co-commentating with me as well, giving you some fantastic camera angles, checking some of these drivers out. It's getting ready to do some work here tonight. Obviously, this track very, very, I mean, it's a good one. I mean, it really is. Or as we would say down south, a good one, which is how we say it. 1.3 miles, all of it's concrete all the way around this track. Can race somewhat like a short track, but, it is an intermediate just for the speeds that they have. But this place can race somewhat like a short track, and you can actually start to see people use the bumper, Dean, which is what we love to see. We love to see people use the bumper, knock people out of the way. But, Dean, I will ask you this. How the hell have you been? Because I haven't seen you in like 3 days because I've been literally racing my ass off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here with Nazareth.
Hello, Jacob. I've seen you. I've broadcasted you. So I've seen you on the track, of course, but it's good to be sharing the booth with you again. I've been having some technical issues of late, so cross our fingers that everything's going to be good today. Gray's out there. Good luck, Ricky. And Shasta, of course, is always going out for her man, Mr. George Jewell. What's our schedule looking like, too, before we just go through the qualifying to be wrapped up there? Jacob, we have, of course, a few more races to go, but currently we're at Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple left until we get to the playoffs. Obviously, it's going to be the round of 12. Obviously, there you see New Hampshire, Texas, Richmond. It's going to close it out. Obviously at Nashville tonight, so we'll kind of cross that one out of the way. We're already here. But New Hampshire, Texas, Richmond, then we're going to go round of 12, which is Kentucky and Iowa. Round of 8. That's going to be an interesting one right there, Dean, because nobody's really told us if that is Legacy Atlanta or if that is New Atlanta. So nobody's really told us. So that might be a little bit of super speedway racing, or it might be a mile and a half. Then you got Vegas and where it all should finish at Homestead. Each and every single racing series should end at Homestead. But here we go, folks. Get you lined up for the grid here tonight for this race here for the Veterans for Life ARCA series. And on the pole, how about this? My teammate on Monday, not Monday nights, Wednesday nights with the NASRA Cup Series. Good old Jonathan Cofield out there in the number 53. We'll start on pole 30.233 to his outside, JB Mullins. He'll be out there as two pro drivers right here on the front row in P2. Jeremy Gardner, Big Daddy. I already talked to him a while ago in the chat, and he said make sure that I called him Big Daddy. So, damn it, Jeremy, Big Daddy Gardner to start in P3 with Rusty Rafferty starting in P4, Jake Ellenson in P5. George Jewell, just this past recently, was a guest on the Door Banging Download. Appreciated George coming on the show. Shasta's man out there. That's the name of the episode. I kid you not. George will be rolled off in P6 with Timothy Williams in P7. Michael McCarthy going for a streak right here, Dean. 2 in a row on the amateur wins. He wants to try to make it 3 in a row here tonight. He's got to do it from P8. Tyler Justice rolls off P9th, and Jeremiah Holt rounds out the top 10. Devin Smith, Chance Taylor, 11th and 12th. With Cliff Adams in 13th, Brandon Wallace 14th. Chuck Pegleg Feltz, the Marine, going to be starting back there in 15th with Eddie Smith. How about this? Saw him at Watkins Glen. Didn't turn out too good for him. See if he can bounce back here tonight from P16. Ricky Sesh Jr. in 17th with Sean Pope McCarthy in P18. Joshua Unger and Mark Cofield round out the top 20. The rest of the field, James Kaufman, Matt Knights, Patrick Dixon, Lucas Lyons, and Doug Ellenson, the 25 drivers, ready to rock and roll tonight. Dean, are we feeling that we're going to have a little bit of beef here tonight? What are you thinking?
You love your beef, don't you? Let's fire up the barbecue and have some beef here at Nashville Superspeedway. Well, welcome everybody in the chat. The usual suspects are back out there supporting their drivers. Of course, you missed about Jonathan Caulfield there, starting on the pole position as we've got 80 laps to get around here this evening. And fire up the barbecues and get some beef, Jacob. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get it, baby. Let's fire it up. We're green here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway. Caulfield gets away. He gets a pretty good jump. He's going to jump right up in front of Mullins. Right behind him, Gardner, Big Daddy back there in the number 10. He's going to roll in third with Rafferty fourth. Ellenson back here in a little side-by-side battle with George Jewell. Jewell up top. Here comes Gardner down on the inside. He's trying to go for second. Will Mullins give it to him? No, he will not. Now Gardner going to have to fall back in line, but Ellenson and Jewell still battling for that top 5 spot. As now here comes McCarthy. Watch this man right here, Dean. That number 3, Michael McCarthy, talked about it already. On somewhat of a winning streak right now as far as the amateur division goes. He could be a big-time player for that amateur division when we leave Nashville here tonight.
He's made some big-time gains already. 2 positions through the field, slicing and dicing as he's battling it out with George Jewell right next to him on the outside wall. How's that temperature this evening here? Well, it's about 79 track temperature, so it's a little warm. Let's see how it's going to affect the tyres later on.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think it's going to have a lot to do with the tire wear. I mean, granted, you know, the temps not bad. I mean, it's 79 degrees, but the big difference that we have here is you see George Jewell riding on board with Shasta's man. Going to be riding right there very, very comfortably right now in that 7th spot. I'll hunker down in that seat. I'm curious if he's... Whoa! Whoa! What the hell happened there? That was Rusty Rafferty. Shot up, hit the wall. Joel got around him, and so did, I believe, McCarthy. All of them shot around him. Even the 86 and Timothy Williams got around Rafferty right there, got up a little bit too high and got in the wall. But, Dean, it's like I'm saying, I'm wondering if George Jewell was hunkered down in the seat when he was talking to me on the podcast. I wouldn't be surprised, not one bit, because every single time we've seen George Joe, he's been hunkered down in the damn seat.
Yeah. Well, he gets comfortable, isn't he? That's all that matters. And perhaps he was. Obviously, on the door bang and download, you can see the rear end start to slide. Jonathan Caulfield's getting a nice little gap at the moment, about 6/10 over Jeremy Gardner. And then another gap back to Jamie Mullins in that P3 position. And then behind them, you've got the usual suspects all tucked in neatly, doing a good job here, lap 5.
Absolutely, and they're going to go to lap 80 here tonight. That will take it all the way to the checkered flag. No stages here with Goat Locker for the Veterans for Life ARCA Series. One thing I was talking about, Dean, as far as the tire wear goes, is you ride on board right here with Jake Ellenson, got the virtual cam, real cam right beside it. Riding here at Nashville, it is all concrete, as I mentioned. You know, there's asphalt down there right here in the tri-oval. You can go below that yellow line to improve your position, run, however you want to do it. You can go down there. Whatever you got to do is you see Jake Ellenson taking a shot right here, trying to get in the top 3. Going to take a shot at Jamie Mullins for that 3rd spot. And Ellenson will take that spot. But one thing about it, concrete with these tires, it's going to eat these tires up even more as if it was asphalt. Got to be careful, manage your tire wears. Here we go, pro driver, amateur driver, Joel McCarthy going into turn 1.
Yeah, we do have that. I'll be fixing that soon on the scoring pylon to apologise about that, where it says AM and AM. That's some of the drivers. That's Joshua and Patrick Dixon. So Cliff Adams also is an AM driver that might be showing that up on the timing tower. We'll get that fixed when we get to a short commercial break later on if we get to a caution. If we get to a caution. Of course, there will have to be green flag pit stops, won't there, Jacob?
Yeah, but damn, Dean, you're already talking about caution already. Are you wanting a caution? That is the question. Already bringing up cautions. Already trying to, I guess you could say, jake some Joel to the inside. McCarthy up top, right behind him, Wilms, trying to see if one of them will slip. Maybe get a shot. Here comes Rafferty. Rafferty gets a run, looks to the inside, nothing there. Tyler Justice right behind him, started 9th. He's sitting 9th. Couple of drivers that are making some gains, I guess you could say. Mark Cofield started 20th. He's up to 16th. James Kaufman in the 25 started 21st. He's up to 17th. Not a whole lot of big movers right now in the field right now, though, Dean. Really the only one that I'm seeing, is those guys. McCarthy, one of those drivers that's a big mover as far as from what I can see. Ellenson has moved up into the top 3. Right behind him, Wilms maybe taking a shot, trying to look at Joel, but I think what Wilms is doing, he's just trying to block that inside lane because you see it right there, Dean. Everybody is painting that yellow line going through these quarters. That's what you got to do here.
How dangerous is it, Jacob, if you get caught in between the main racetrack and then the inside apron like that? Because then you've got some of the tyres up in the air and a little bit, some of the tyres not. You're dicing a little bit, aren't you, if you get too low?
Yeah, you don't want. Well, if you're gonna pick one, you want to be able to be on one of them and not both of them, because if you do, you could easily get that back end to step out. I've had it done numerous times here at Nashville when you just straddle the line from the apron to the racetrack. So you need to pick whichever one you're gonna do, especially right here in the trial, because that's usually where everybody goes down and tries to run on that apron. You don't want to do it in these corners. But they'll do it on the front straightaway right there where the start-finish line is. So you want to make sure that you're down there, or you're above that yellow line, or you're below that yellow line, because if you're straddling it, that back end will step out. You can spat out, and you can cause a hell of a wreck. So I've seen it done numerous times, and I've done it. I've actually caused wrecks here doing that, not getting down low enough and clipping that apron, clipping that yellow line, straddling it. I've caused all kinds of chaos here as well for that.
Yeah, well, and you also did a good job getting a podium last night there too, Jacob. So got a race win before here in Nazareth, now you've got another podium. I think you're starting to... is it those Premier setups? I'm not quite sure whatever it is, my friend, but you got some speed of late. Maybe you might have to retire your... we don't want you to do that. Don't retire from the broadcaster booth and be a full-time driver.
No, absolutely not. Not going to retire from the broadcast booth anytime soon. I absolutely love calling the races, especially right here with Goat Locker. And obviously, Friday night for the Concerns of Police Survivors, which is tomorrow night. It's going to be at Michigan here live on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. As well, Mullen slides in a little bit, gets close to Ellenson's back bumper. almost got into him right there. But that lead is starting to open up a little bit as Cofield's opening it up about a tenth a lap. But we're staying with this battle right here, Mullins and Ellenson. Big battle right here for that podium spot. And as you mentioned, Dean, got podium last night at Daytona in the next gen cars NASRA Cup Series. Very first official points race for the NASRA Cup Series. And obviously, I talked a little bit about it on the Door Banging Download. New episode is out right now. You can go check that out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Sure. Joel gets a little bit loose right there coming off 4. He was right on McCarthy's back bumper. Check him out, fanning, trying to get around him right there. Is Justice blinking a little bit.
Yeah, he blinked and he also hit the fence a little bit. So maybe iRacing said, I'm going to correct you as soon as you come back into the server, and then bingo. George, you're lucky. So he will drop a couple places with that, but the man can sit comfortably back in his cockpit rig right there and size them up there. Plenty of time to go, 66 laps, and pit stop strategies will come into play if we continue to get this green flag racing.
Yeah, and one thing I was looking at, I was also looking at the fuel strategy for what these guys are going to look at. It's going to be tight right here if they was to make it halfway to try to go ahead and split it one deal and go right there at that halfway mark at 40. They should be able to do it. Because you can get a full tank, or you can get a full run on about 43 laps if you choose to run that long. The big thing about it, Dean, is the tire wear. You got to make sure that you don't burn your tires up within that 40 laps. If you do, it doesn't matter how much fuel you got in it. You're just going to drop all the way to the back. We're seeing going through the field right here. Rafferty's starting to slip back up here. Started 4th. He's on a little bit of a slide. Started 4th. He's back to 7th. Trying to go up on the inside right here of Timothy Williams to his inside. Now Rafferty going to go door to door with him going down the back straightaway into turn 3. How about Chance Taylor up 4 spots back there from 12th up to 8th? Tyler Justice right behind him trying to work with George Jewell. Maybe see if he can slide by him. And Tyler Justice still sitting there watching that battle between Rafferty and Williams. Going into turn 1, still door to door. Rafferty down to the inside. Williams making that outside lane work right here, Dean.
Yeah, he is, absolutely, as you can see. So this is the hot zone right now of all the drivers. You can see on the timing tower. Jake's still putting a little bit of pressure on Jamie for P3, but the rest of the field are here primarily until you go down to P16, 17. We've got the rest of the field. Look at the track map as well too, Jacob. They're starting to spread out. As you can see, all the little dots everywhere. And, of course, you see the green dot. That's the driver that we're currently following, which is the number 14, Chance Taylor.
Yes, sir. Chance Taylor right there, the number 14 right there. He sees the battle behind him. Joel and Taylor, or Joel and Tyler Justice, I should say, back there side by side. Joel to the inside. Tyler Justice trying to see if he can get the run, but Tyler able to get the run on the outside and get clear of Joel. Now, Joel looks back to the inside. Tyler overdrives the corner, slides up. Joel may have a shot right here on the inside, but that outside is starting to make a little bit of headway right here, Dean. You can get a run up there on that top side if you can make it work, but the problem is you're going to burn your tires up more and more and more up there on that top side. You can get the run, but you're going to burn them up even more. But you see right there, Williams actually running in that middle lane right now. Now he's going to have a challenger. Chance Taylor trying to go for 5 spots up from the start. Looking to the inside. Joel's going to take a shot right here on Tyler Justice. Dean, you called it. This is the hot zone right here.
Yeah, you throw a blanket over it there, Jacob. This is fantastic racing, good wheel to wheel. The only problem, of course, you're going up high. You might find that little bit more grip. You can, but you're also going to be flirting with that fence pretty close too. So danger zones, but maximum risk, maximum reward as well.
Absolutely, and you got to be careful with this place right here. Exactly. And big thing about this right here, the hot zones, as you was talking about with these hot zones with these guys right here, the cold zones, if you wanted to call it that, Dean, is coming off of 4. I've seen it numerous times with guys flipping the back end tires. We saw George Jewell do it just a while ago. With the back end sliding out, and he lost a couple of spots. Now he's trying to gain all of that ground back. Got to be careful. Turn 2, not necessarily one of those spots where you can spin it out, but you can easily get tight, slide up, and hit the fence. 4 is where you're going to really see the rear wheels spin, with the back end's kind of stepping out. Guys getting a little bit loose right there off of 4, but everybody holding it very clean right now and running very, very good race right here. 23 laps into this 80-lap stint right here. We're halfway from this first stint. And like I said, I'd say about lap 40s when you're going to see a lot of guys go down. If they're going to split it into threes, you're going to see guys go down in the next 10 laps and go down around lap 33, and then they'll try to go maybe around lap 60, somewhere in that range probably would be the time that they would go. If they was going to go threes, they should have already pitted at 20, then they'd go to 60, and then they'd go to 80. But nobody's really shooting for that. I think everybody's wanting to go to lap 40 right here.
So that's your predicament out there. And will they all do it together, or will the teammates just all box at the same time, will be the question, I think. It's good to see Dougie in the race. Dougie's up 6 places. There he is at the moment, all by himself. But the old Dougster, P19, and getting the job done. And he's ahead of Chuck, old Chuck Pegleg Feltz, of course. And we've got a little Chuck camp we had last week as well, too. So there's Chuck, once again, with the big guns. And
big guns.
Yeah, he's hovering just behind Dougie back in P20. So keep up the good work there, Chuck.
Absolutely. And one thing about Goat Locker, obviously, with a lot of veterans right here in the field, and a lot that Goat Locker does, and proud to have them as a sponsor with the door banging download and the Redneck Announcer. Proud to be in association with them, and obviously right here with the Nashville 360 Racing Network, and all the veterans that sacrifice everything for this country. And obviously next month in November, going to be Veterans Day coming up in November, so that'll be a big deal. Another big deal right here, Big Daddy Gardner right now starting to close that gap, and obviously Jonathan Cofield, your pole sitter, Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award winner here tonight. He better pick up some pace right here, Dean. Gardner's starting to catch him. You see right there, Cofield going down below that yellow line, trying to cut that apron and try to get some extra time to try to get away from Gardner. I don't think it's working right now. Gardner's starting to pull away. Or Gardner's actually starting to catch him is what I meant to say.
Cofield just needs to play a higher note, doesn't he, on that Jam Printing Promotions guitar. And strum his way a little bit extra pace. But as you mentioned, Jeremy is starting to crawl him in. Once he catches in that slipstream, then you're going to have some problems forming with it. And as also those laps start to kick over as well, too. Whenever Jonafield's going to go, well, should I go down to pit lane early? He's going to be the first one to make a call. Looks like Chance Taylor might have gone off the track there. Yes, we have, Jacob. We have a caution.
Chance Taylor, you talked about it right there with Taylor. Taylor goes off the track right there. He slips up, gets into the wall. Number 14 to Chance Taylor, pro driver in the field, and looks like he is going to park it down in the pits, get him some damage fixed. See what happened to Taylor.
Oh, he's blinked.
Where the hell did he go?
He's disappeared, my friend. He's abracadabra, and bingo. That's probably the reason why his car's beached. There it is. Yeah, it's completely beached into the fence. That to me is a connection issue or something, isn't it? Because it's just reappeared and it's completely damaged. And you know what it's like there, Jacob. If your connection comes back and iRacing says you're pointing towards the wall, you'll end up in the wall.
Yes, sir. Hate to see it for Chance Taylor. He's going to be down pit road, go one lap down, try to get some of that damage fixed, get him 4 fresh tires. And, Dean, this is when I expect a lot of guys to go down pit road. Obviously, right here, you got that opportunity right here under caution to go down pit road and get you 4 fresh tires, get yourself lined up right here. So I expect each and every one of these guys to go down. Some of them may stay out, but, well, look at it. If you stay it out, you screwed yourself. Honestly, as you see right there, Cofield, Gardner goes down. Mullins is going to go down. Wilms looks like he's going to stay. No, actually, he's going to go as well. Ricky Sisk Jr. actually is going to take the lucky dog, and he will get back on the lead lap. Check him out, Gardner, right on that back bumper of Cofield, trying to keep it as close as he can, maybe get a couple of tenths in the pits, maybe have a shot to beat him out. Gardner goes in his stall. Cofield goes into his stall. It'll be 4 tires and fuel, I would say, for each and every one of these drivers. Mullins, who come in third, he had to back up, slipped through his box. We'll see if Gardner is able to shoot by him right here on the pits. See how this works out. A couple of drivers starting to go out. Nope, Cofield beats them out. Another driver that beat them all out as well was Jake Ellingson from 4th in the pits and comes out in that 2nd spot. So there is a caution pit road deal right there. Very first caution of the event tonight. We'll step aside real quick, let you hear from some of our sponsors. You're watching Goat Locker here live on the Nashville 360 Racing Network.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Well, folks, I ain't gonna lie to you. As bad as I got said, I hate it for Chance Taylor, but I'm kind of happy that caution came out right there. Dude, I had a chance to go get me a cold one right there. Get ready for a fantastic race for the rest of the race here tonight with Goat Locker. There you see Michael McCarthy, virtual cam right there. Obviously, real cam, virtual cam, however you want to look at it. Getting ready for a restart. Check that out right there. I mean, you got it all right there, Dave. That's awesome right there. Got the whole steering wheel cam right there. Got the virtual cam, with watching what Michael McCarthy's doing. And once again, Dana, I talked about it. We need to be watching that number 3 tonight. Obviously, he's on a little bit of a winning streak. He hasn't won the race the past 2 races here with Goat Locker for the Veterans for Life ARCA Series, but he has won the amateur division twice. He's the big dog right now as far as the amateurs goes.
Oh, for sure. And running in a nice, comfortable P3. He's had a good race so far, getting the job done without being on the camera, which is also a good sign as well too, Jacob, because that means you're keeping out of the trouble and you're keeping it clean. Jacob, we need to have that's one thing we need to have, a live broadcasting, like live commentator cam, so we can pop you up in the corner as well too when you're commentating. For the future.
Well, I got a cam, but I didn't know if you ever wanted me to turn it on because half the time people may be seeing a cold beer going down my throat, probably. No, man, it's too far away. It's too far away. It's on the other TV. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Cofield gets the jump. Hell of a jump. Ellingson on that outside, but Gardner trying to get back to what he was trying to do. Indeed, I'll say this. Gardner did not want that caution. He was reeling Cofield in big time right there at the end of that. Gardner wants this sucker to go green because they'll have a shot to try to get Cofield. Big stack up. Big time stack up. Ellingson gets on the brakes. McCarthy almost cleans him out. Here comes Rafferty. Here comes Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith 16th up to the top 5, battling with Rafferty for that P5 spot on the outside in that 87 Tide Pontiac, Chevy, however the hell you want to look at it. Rafferty on the bottom, Smith up top. Smith's going to get the run. He's going to slide straight across Rafferty. Smith goes around, no caution yet on the speedway.
Wow.
Eddie Smith was on a hell of a drive, but spun it out, went across the nose of Rafferty. And Smith's going to be back there in the back, and boy, he needed that caution right there, Dean.
So, believe it or not, yeah, exactly. We're having those cautions. So, we had Devin Smith went off track. I think that's contact perhaps with Dougie earlier, or something happened. No, he's just lost it on his own, hasn't he? Cooked it under the restart with the cold tires. And it's also, I think it's actually thrown Dougie off as well, too, because he was kind of following him, and then Dougie's gone into the kitty litter as well. And then, of course, what we just saw with Eddie Smith. And we caught that in the live pictures. Just loosened the rear end as well, too, isn't it? Cold tires. And very lucky he didn't take out old Rusty.
He got in the what?
Kitty litter.
Kitty litter?
Yeah. The sand.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's the grass down there, but usually have sand traps, don't you, on bloody race courses, is what I mean. So, yeah, same thing.
Good.
Everybody out there, you all understand, don't you?
We need to get him a bush light, folks. I think he'd be lined up right there for that. There you see Rafferty right there, Tyler Justice, trying to see if he can drive in here as well. Williams
and the
wall. Here comes Jeremiah Holt. How about this right here? I haven't talked about Jeremiah. Started in the top 10, trying to work his way back inside that top 10. Being very quiet right now, that number 73, an amateur driver as well, much like Michael McCarthy. But Holt doing a fantastic job. And, Dean, we've watched these races over the past couple of weeks. Holt's been one of those guys, he really hasn't had the good runs that, we thought, that he would probably be able to have. Right here, currently, just outside the top 10, he could be in store for a good night for that number 73.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be quite good for Jeremiah Bolt, we're going to call him, because he can bolt out of the gate with that car. He's got some serious speed. I think Jake got past Michael on that restart, or they were line astern at least, whereas Jeremy still dropped back from Jonathan after that race restart. You have such an advantage, don't you, leading the race on a restart, because of the fact that you get that call first, so you hit the loud pedal, and everybody else has to kind of react to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is. I mean, the leader 9 times out of 10 here, we've seen it numerous times, where they, Dean, where guys will take the inside or the outside. On that front row, the leader will, gets to choose whichever lane he wants. And there's been, it's 50-50, honestly. It just depends on what track you're racing. And as Mullins drives in on McCarthy. There you see McCarthy trying to get the wheel straightened back out. Mullins drove it in, dive bombed him right there, made it on the inside, and goes all the way down to the apron and tries to cut it and try to make up a little bit of time on McCarthy. McCarthy may have to give way on this one right here, Dean, but I'll say this. Obviously, there may be a little bit of beef right there with McCarthy and Mullins right there, because Mullins dove that sucker in there, and McCarthy was not expecting it. We'll see if Mullins tries to play a little bit nicer right here. But back to what I was talking about. As far as the restart goes, is both of them getting sideways. Hell with the restarts. We'll talk about this for a second. Both of them dirt tracking it off turn 4, Dean.
Yeah, I was wondering when we're looking at Michael's camera, it was like he was just fighting with the steering wheel for a second, but we could see, and I was like, what's causing him to do that? And that was obviously because they were getting some door banging going on with Jamie behind him. So George Jewell is going to be watching this from a bird's eye perspective, so let's ride on board with old George Jewell as he'll be tucked into his cockpit going, all right, fellas, battle it out because I'm closing in on you.
Yeah, I mean, and, he's doing a pretty good job right there. Joel able to come back a little bit from where he's been and doing a pretty good job of it right now, trying to get himself back in contention here tonight. Started 6th. That's exactly where he is right now. And, Dane, I mean, we saw him slip a while ago and he ended up losing, 5-6 spots or whatever. He's actually got himself back in contention right here to get back in this bad boy. He's sitting right there in 6th, kind of just waiting on Mullins, McCarthy, let them go ahead and sort their stuff out and eventually have a shot, try to jump up here, get into this right there. You check out old Peg Leg. No, actually, that's Sean Polk McCarthy. Another McCarthy in the field. 26, started 18th. He's up to 14th right now, battling off right here with Brandon Wallace and also with Cofield. All these guys back here battling literally their hearts out back here. Timothy Williams, he must have got up in the wall or something. He started 17th. He's back here in the 16th spot. Big slide right now for this 86 trying to get back in it.
I think he did, yeah, because I'm not seeing anything in race control messages, but that's when Sean Pope's making his way up through there. Mark Caulfield in P13 and Jonathan Caulfield all the way up in P1 still. Nobody getting closer, but we did see Jeremy pull in on him later on, so perhaps if we get a longer run. And Jake's into the fence. Oh, no.
No! Jake Ellenson up in the wall. Big time deal for him. Ellison's still up in the fence. He's still there as we're checking out the instant replay right here on what happened to Jake. I think he might have just back in. Yeah, there you see back in. Starts to slide, slides up, tries to correct it. Bam, straight up into the wall. There goes McCarthy. Mullins almost cleaned him out as well. And that whole slide, Ellenson was up there sitting in a 3rd spot. Dean, he's already slipped all the way back 17th from starting in that 5th spot.
We'll see how that damages. Have a look at the steering wheel to see how much correction, if that's knocked the steering alignment out. It's hard to say because you've got a banking elevation here too. That's something you could probably tell me as we're seeing up the road. Eddie Smith and Brandon Wallace. What happened to Eddie Smith dropping back too? Wasn't he right up there before?
He was, Dean, but, obviously we saw Smith, when he got loose and came across the front bumper of Rusty Rafferty, it slipped back a good bit. Now, I mean, he was up there looking like he was going to be inside the top 5, and unfortunately all the way back here now in the 14th spot. You see Cliff Adams, we haven't talked a whole lot about him. Now, he's one of these guys that's got a big move going on right now, 13th up to 8th. Biggest mover from what I'm seeing in the field. You basically throw a coin flip on it between the 25 and the 97. James Kaufman and Mark Cofield, both these drivers started 20th and 21st. Cofield was 20th. Kaufman was 21st. And both of them are battling for a shot at a top 10 right now. It's a big-time deal for that. McCarthy right here, I'm telling you, I got to be honest with you, Dean. If I was McCarthy, I'd just get the hell out of the way. I'd let Mullins go. Mullins is just wearing him out right now. And now George Jewell has entered into this conversation to possibly get him a podium spot. How about that right there? Get him on the door, banging down low, get him pumped up, get some damn confidence in him, and now he's up here. He's got a shot to get a podium.
I think Michael's done a good part of becoming a better driver, of course, is learning how to defend as much as possible. And that's a good thing, the AM driver mixing it with the pros here. And it'll only make him better, make it difficult for them to get the overtake done, because Michael doesn't have to yield, even though he is in a class of his own, separate. But still, this is good, because that's the thing that's never really celebrated a lot, or really, it never makes the highlight reels that often, is good defending driving, because you're not overtaking anybody, you're preventing somebody from overtaking you, and that takes a lot of skill. Look, he's fighting with the car right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's fighting with it, and he's also fighting with Mullins. Mullins up top, actually going to get the run. Mullins finally said, screw it. If I can't take you on the inside, I'll just take it up top and see if I can try to make it work. McCarthy, check him out. Left, right, dirt tracking sideways. Almost came up. Cleaned out Mullins. Mullins is going to get him on that lap, but not by much. McCarthy's still not letting him go. He drives it in, tries to dive bomb it, trying to make it stick. There's some beef right there. Hell, he drove it in just like Mullins did a while ago. Tried to make it stick. Unfortunately, will not be able to make it work. Mullins will get away. Now McCarthy may have to pull a little bit more defensive driving as we got a lap car. A Dougie right here gets in the middle of this as well.
Wow.
But Joel trying to get up here. Joel may have a shot at McCarthy. McCarthy may be slipping back just a little bit.
Look at the fighting he's doing. It's unbelievable. It's just like your dirt track racing, as you'd mentioned, isn't it? Like, way that they're just turning the steering wheel around, like, all over the place. Just come on, connect, and still hogging onto the roof. But look at the difference in George. Look at how George is not fighting the steering wheel so much. Is it force feedback settings or something? Just look at that. It's a smooth operator.
Well, watch George right here. I think what George is doing, George is being very, very careful with how he's driving. And Dean, we were talking, we talked about this numerous times here with Goat Locker. We've talked about it on the Friday night series. I talked about it numerous times about that egg up under the pedal. And I think that's what George is doing right now. George is probably being very careful with that egg up under the pedal, not having to worry about that back end wanting to step out and getting loose. McCarthy, on the other hand, granted an amateur driver compared to a pro driver, both of them driving different driving styles. McCarthy might be trying to get on that loud pedal just a little bit too hot. And maybe that's what's making that back end step out, and that's why you see him dirt tracking it. Watch him right here. There he goes, dirt tracking, still dirt tracking. And, if we could actually get a shot, Dean, I don't know if you could do it or not, but get actually both the virtual cams of George Jewell and McCarthy at the same time, you'll be able, the folks at home, everybody will be able to see, just the two different driving styles, because both these guys battling for that fourth spot. George being very, very still on that wheel because he's not getting on that loud pedal as bad as McCarthy is, where you see him just dirt tracking it. Damn near every single exit, every single corner is there. You see now it's starting to pay dividends, I should say, with the pro driver down on the inside of McCarthy up top.
I think I just messed the cameras up by trying to do something like that one. So, oops, my bad. I'll have to fix that one later. But hey, that's a good idea. Make a note of that for the future, Jacob. We'll look at doing that. I like that idea. Side-by-side cameras, real-life cameras where they're battling side-by-side. Jake's in. I think he's got to fix that damage. You can see it's all gone a little bit pearl-shaped for the Wisconsin driver, and he's got to elect to get some damage fixed. And, well, you know about the damage fixed, don't you there, Jacob? Because last night you had, 5 seconds of repairs or something? Still come back and get a podium?
5 seconds? Hell, it was 4 minutes.
4 minutes,
That's how much it was.
Yeah.
4 minutes. And obviously, that is the title of the new episode of the Door Banging Download. 4 minutes optional to third. That's exactly how many I had. I had a little bit less than 4 minutes. It was like 3 minutes and 56 seconds, but hell, who the hell's counting? 4 minutes optional repairs after old Pookie, Jeff Mark, tags me in the back end.
Michael!
It was not intentional as McCarthy's slipping, sliding, man. He's sliding all over the place. But yeah, talking about that 4 minutes, I'm telling you, McCarthy better watch his back door. He keeps on slipping, sliding, gets loose, hits the wall. He's going to have himself about 4 minutes of required repairs because Dean, as much as he's dirt tracking it, trying to keep that sucker straight, he's got to be careful. He steps on loud pedal and he tries to overcorrect that car. He can turn it dead right after he loses it, and it might grip. Turn it dead right, he could go head on into the wall, and that's something you don't want to do because that would straight up kill your race. Even though you got one fast repair, it can still kill your whole race.
Oh, we got
a caution.
Yep. Oops. Well, that was good fun battling while we had it. So it's going to be some pit stops. Cliff Adams has gone into the pit road to get that opportunity. I think it might have been Cliff Adams that's actually the reason why we had that caution. Let's have a look. Keep an eye out on the Peak 98. Now, this looks like... he's had to...
Woo!
No. So that's Rusty Rafferty, right? So I think it's lifted off to go down the pit road. It's completely caught old Cliff off guard, mate.
Yeah, Rafferty probably, like you said, was trying to go down pit road. Jeremiah Holt, hell of a slide. He almost ends up getting collected in it. Check it out. Rafferty, yes. Rafferty, yes. No, I mean, not really. I mean, you could split it right here with what Rafferty was probably thinking. He could probably split that right there. And, I mean, you can split it because you're coming up right here on 60 laps, and you're looking at about 20 laps, give or take, difference as far as, the fuel run. So, I mean, he could have did that and kind of probably made it work, but now he's going to end up going down pit road anyway. Both of them is. And Adams is going to have a little bit of damage, boy. That will end up letting Cofield and Gardner and all these guys go down pit road as well. And keep in mind, folks, 4 sets of tires. That's 3 in the pits, 1 on the car. So right now they're going to go for that second set of tires. So everybody's got to have 1 set left when this thing is all said and done. And I don't expect anybody to make another pit stop unless somehow or another we get a green, white, checkered finish right here before this thing is over with. Because I think once they get down here, get the tires, get everything that they got to get, they're going to gas up, and they're going to go all the way to the end right here.
Some of the drivers are electing to stay out, and I would if you're running it at the back of the field. So Joshua has, and he's got nothing to lose. Now, of course, he's going to miss out on this pit stop opportunity. However, if there is another caution flag a little bit later on, and some of the drivers do elect to go down, well, I mean, he can elect to go down as well and not lose too much track position. So that's good. Of course, he's got the rainbow for the Cancer Sucks, of course, so a livery, of course, for Cancer Awareness Month. Good on you for that one there, Josh. You'll see if it pans out for you, of course, a little bit later on this race. And Jeremy Gardner's going to be the man in the lead, so he's beaten Caulfield in the pit lane.
Uh-oh. That's going to get interesting right there. If Gardner was able to get out in front of Caulfield right there, that's going to be a really good thing to see right here. Coming to 20 laps to go. Gardner beats Caulfield out. That's going to be a shootout right there between both of those guys, folks. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Goat Locker. We're going to take a quick commercial break and bring you back for, check this out real quick.
Yep. There's
Damn,
Gardner.
Dean,
Go. Look. Wow.
Dean? That's by an eyelash. That looked like, that's a photo finish at the end of pit road.
Yeah.
How about that right there? Gardner was able to beat him out right there. Caulfield may end up having a couple. Well, I tell you what. Well, I was thinking about going to commercial. Let's bring Caulfield in if we can find him.
Yeah.
And get his take on it. And well, we can't find Caulfield. He ain't in the chat. So I tell you what, we'll just go to commercial, I guess. You're watching Goat Locker here live on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Well, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, if you got your cold one in hand, you're in store for a hell of a finish here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway, folks. Goat Locker, Veterans for Life ARCA Series. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, Australian Dean Hopton Biggles, doing a fantastic job tonight. Let us know out there in the comments who you think's going to win this bad boy. We got Joshua Unger, started 19th. He's all the way up here now, leading this damn thing. And he's got a whole lot of guys back here that's got 4 fresh tires, Dean. I got a feeling they're going to eat him alive right here.
Yeah, although I completely forgot about the tires, didn't I? I was thinking more about the fuel, but yeah, the tires going to get eaten up. And especially, too, it's increased by about a degree, so it's now 80 Fahrenheit. It's not the ridiculous hot that I've seen before in iRacing, but it still will have some effect on these drivers. Barney, hello! He'll be waving that flag for Joshua, and Jeremy's going to be the one probably pushing to get ahead of him quickly.
Yeah, Unger really slipped on that restart. Green flag's in the air. Maybe looking at possibly maybe some kind of issues right here on this restart. They may end up wanting to look at that one right there, but I don't think Gardner really did anything wrong right there. I mean, Unger's just straight up holding up his inside line. He was the one that stayed out on those old tires.
Oh.
Mullins up top, big slip, big slide. Unger way down on the inside. McCarthy's going to get by. Smith's going to get by. Tyler Justice trying to see if he can get by. George Jew, all of them get by. Smith all the way down to the damn apron. Tried to take a shot, but was unable to make it work. McCarthy up there is going to take a shot at Cofield. Cofield, your pole sitter here tonight. Slipping back big time right now. He did not want to see any of those cautions. He wanted to fight it out between him and Gardner. Now everybody's going around Cofield.
Yeah, he got caught off with Josh Angler before, who was dropping back on those tyres, and they didn't work. That gamble. Staying out has not paid off. He's dropped all the way back into the fence as well, too. Ooh. And everybody's had to take reactions, and that's going to cause a bang, a wreck.
Slide.
There it is. There's one of your big
Matt
ones.
Knights.
Not the big one, but Sean.
Pretty damn close, I guess you could say, Dean.
Yeah,
that's a big one
Timothy,
right there for Nashville.
There's a few drivers. I think Matt Knights, of course, was involved in that one, maybe. Yeah, that's got to be. You'd have to say caused by Josh. So that's one, isn't it? Sometimes it's a bit dangerous staying out, isn't it? Especially when you're just losing all the traction. And that, of course.
It is, but Dean, I'll say this. If we could slip it back, if we could slide all the way back to around maybe turn 3, this is where all hell really ended up breaking loose. You're going to see Sean Pope McCarthy in the 26. That's where I want to go right there. There you see the American flag car right there on the top side of Jeremiah Holt. Both of them actually door bang right here a little bit. Pope McCarthy gets loose. He's going to come down, get into Holt right here. Big time door bang between both of those guys. McCarthy comes up the track. And then there you see Unger back here on those old tires, slips up. He gets into the fence. Everybody tries to get down. And then McCarthy just hangs a damn hard left, comes straight down into Knights. Wilms nowhere to go. He gets involved. Knights goes around. He's an innocent bystander. He goes around as well. So multiple drivers. And then Unger already head on into the wall as well. But, you could say a lot of that had to do with Unger right there. Because everybody was just trying to get around him.
Yeah, I'll take that back. It wasn't. No, he was just trying to avoid it. And, of course, these tyres didn't quite stick, so he ended up in the fence. But it was definitely Sean Pope that caused this one, for sure. You can clearly see because he lost the rear end and took out a couple of cars as well, Jacob. And they are heading down to pit road. So Ricky Sisk wheel, Chuck Peck leg wheel, and we do know that Josh Ungler will and Sean Pope will as well, too, because of the damage they're going to have on those cars. But the rest of the field stayed out, as you expected there, Jacob. You don't think anybody else is going to come back down a pit road because they don't need to. We're down to 14 to go.
Well, it's like I said, Dean, if we get, say a green, white, checkered finish, give or take right there, about maybe 5 laps to go, somewhere in that range, you may see half go down, half not. We'll see how that ends up working out. But, going back to that accident right there, you could you could literally do 50-50 on whether or not it was Unger or whether it was Pope McCarthy right there. Maybe, it was all Pope McCarthy. Maybe he just stepped on the gas too much. He slides down, gets into Holt. gets up under the fence, comes down, hits Knights. Wilms gets involved, all that. Or you could look at it as Unger was up top, and Pope McCarthy was trying to gas up and get the hell away from him. That way he was able to shoot out and come out wide coming off of turn 4. I mean, that's 50-50 really on whichever one. I mean, either decision that you decide to go with right there, I mean, it'll work either way. I mean, both of them as well. There you see Rusty Rafferty going down pit road once again.
I wanted to show you this too because Race Control's just given us the end of EOL to Mr. Cliff Adams from this accident that happened earlier. Remember with Rafferty? So
yeah,
they've elected that he was at fault for this one, bang, and yep, so he has the EOL, which may be the reason why he's going down a pit road at the moment too, my friend.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who they give the EOL on this one, if they give it to McCarthy or they give it to Unger. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to McCarthy because Pope McCarthy, I should say, was the one that actually initiated everything. I mean, Unger was up against the wall, but McCarthy probably thinking, like I said, try to gas up, get away from Unger, and then just have a shot to try to go out wide and try to get around. But I tell you what, let's bring up a driver up here in the broadcast booth. We was trying to find Cofield and couldn't find him. He wasn't in any of them. So I tell you what, let's bring up a guy. I want to bring him up, but I got a bad feeling I'm going to end up jinxing him. And if I jinx him, Dean,
oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna feel bad. I'm gonna feel bad right here if I jinx this man right here. Hopefully we do not. Right. But we'll bring up George Jewell.
Here we go.
Last week's guest on the door banging download for the Beer Buddy segment. Shasta's man up here sitting in third. George, what are we feeling, baby? We got a shot to get this bad boy.
These two are in front of me that are pretty fast and everything. We're also teammates, so we're trying to work together a little bit and hopefully get a jump on the group behind us. Eddie's got some speed. I'm hoping to bring in the top 3. I don't know if I got anything for these two up front, but just a good, clean finish. I need the points. That's all I'm looking for.
Hell, send them $20. Maybe they can help you out. Both of them, send them both $20. Either that or just send one of them $20 and let them fight about it on how they want to split it. But George, appreciate your time and good luck, and hopefully I did not jinx you right here. Hopefully you come out with a good finish there, buddy.
Well, if you did, I'm on my way to Georgia.
Yep.
You know where I'm at, baby.
I could give him a virtual clip. He's right next to me.
No problem. Think about it.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Nate. Good luck, George.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
You see, you jinx it by saying it. You just don't say it. It just completely don't even bring it up, and then it doesn't happen.
I'm nervous.
It's kind of like putting a wall saying, please do not graffiti the wall. What are people going to do? They're going to graffiti the wall. And they do not graffiti the walls out there at the moment. Buddy, let's go green.
If he wrecks, I tell you what, if he gets caught up in some mess right here, y'all won't see me tomorrow night for cops. I'll just go ahead and let Brady and Cody know that right here. Green flag in here. George Joe down to the inside. Gardner gets away. Mullins gets away. Here comes McCarthy. Michael McCarthy in the amateur class. On the outside, leading that amateur class as well. Up on the top side. Joel down on the bottom. Cofield goes down. Look at 3 wide now going into 3, but Cofield banks away. A lot of respect out of that 53. He'll let George Joe and Michael McCarthy battle it out, but it's Gardner and it's Mullins. All of them trying to go off turn 4. Everybody keeps it straight. Whoa. Cofield all the way down to the apron.
Wow. Michael's going to be using all the track as possible, make it difficult for George Jewell to get past as well as Caulfield. He knows he to keep there behind him because they want to take these positions. Eddie Smith has also gained 10 positions on lightning speed as well. Don't stick your nose out too far. You might get it chopped off. So be very careful on that one. What do you got? You got 10 to go, Jacob. Now it's time to get the overtakes done.
Yeah, right here is when you really want to start burning them tires up right here, Dean. Everybody in the field's got an extra set in case all hell ends up breaking loose when this thing's all said and done. So this is when you really want to push the issue. Try to get everything that you can get. Joel up top, slips, slides, keeps it straight. Caulfield right behind him. Caulfield may look to the inside, but Joel blocking that inside advance, making Caulfield take it up on the top side, but McCarthy already took it up on the top side. Caulfield shoots up. Eddie Smith has got back into this bad boy. Rafferty's nowhere to be found, so Smith ain't got to worry about spinning out. Smith right behind him. Caulfield up on the outside. George Jewell down to the inside, trying to keep it down there, maybe try to keep it straight. battling it out for a top 5 spot right here. Actually, this would be 4th if Joel could get it. Cofield to the outside, Joel on the inside.
Well, a podium, obviously, with Michael in position, because Michael's just up the road. Forget about Jeremy and Jamie. They should have won the bag. Both of them into the fence. Eddie Smith is going to react at the moment, and we're going to have a pile.
Whoa! No! Smith having bad luck once again, but is able to keep it straight. Eddie Smith was on a hell of a drive to get back up inside the top 5. We saw the slips, saw the slides, everything that happened earlier on with Smith and Rafferty. And now Smith battled back, got back up here, had a shot to get in the top 5, but McCarthy gets up into the fence, makes Cofield come down, and Smith nowhere to go. And then both of them just lock bumpers, and that might be smooth sailing for George Joe to get away and get him a 3rd place finish here tonight. McCarthy now, he's got to hold off Tyler Justice, Jonathan Cofield, and Mark Cofield. How about Mark Cofield?
Yeah.
20th up to 7th. Big drive by that 97.
Got to be in it to win it. He was in the right place with those drivers having a little bit of a tangle before, so I'll say thank you very much. I'll take that. And hats off to both those drivers, too. Kimi pointing in somehow in the right direction after that, not causing a caution. So, unfortunate. But Jeremy's going to be okay. That's fine. That's actually good for him. That way I don't have to go through the whole restart process. It may give time for Jamie to try to hunt him down a little bit because he is not too far. George Jules is going to hang in here nice and tight in a P3. He's got a bit of a gap there to Michael. Michael will be super stoked, of course, because if he can hold on here, he's still going to win the AM class as well. But he loves battling it out with the pros. And then, of course, further back, you see the gaggle of cars there with the likes of Brandon Wallace, Jeremiah, and Mark Caulfield, as you mentioned. Oh, who was almost into the fence there as well? That was
McCarthy.
McCarthy, yes. So he's holding on here for dear life.
Well, Dean, you sat here and you said a minute ago that, McCarthy probably should have this amateur class in the bag. I wouldn't think too fast on that one right there. Tyler Justice is starting to close in. And remember, McCarthy was the one that got up into the fence. It made the whole Cofield-Smith incident right there coming off of 4. So Tyler Justice may have a shot to try to win this amateur class. Cofield takes a shot, dives it straight in. He don't give a damn about that amateur class division. Cofield trying to get up here and get back into the podium spot where he rightfully should be at. But all chaos is happening. He's just kind of screwed him right here, Dean. He is driving that 53. He's driving the wheels off of it. But he's got 2 amateur guys right here that are just having lights out nights up here at the front. 3 to go, coming to 2 to go this time. Jeremy Gardner. Jamie Mullins not even catching him right now. Cofield's got to be wishing or thinking, what if at this point?
And it's Caulfield's the line of stand too, because Mark's a little bit backed up with a lot of cars behind him. He needs to hold off. Caulfield's got to be aware that these two are battling in the AM class up ahead. So if they come together, it's all going pearl-shaped for Johnny. But it might not be enough time. 2 to go. He's going to send it on Tyler. This is going to help out Michael if Michael could just stay ahead. But there might not be enough time. 2 to go. There's Jeremy. He should have this one in the bag. Smooth sailing as we're going to see Barnstop. There it is for the white flag. And 1 to go.
1 to go here tonight at Nashville. Gardner's just got to make 4 more corners, even the tri-oval, and he will come away with the win here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway. Mullins way back there trying to see if he can close the gap. He ain't got a shot at this point. Gardner been one of the fastest drivers all night. How about you, Big Daddy? Off turn 4. Jeremy Gardner in the number 10 for Veterans for Life Racing gets it done here tonight at Nashville. Jamie Mullins will end up getting second. George Jewell, how about that right there? George Jewell, I did not jinx him. He ain't got to come to Georgia and try to find me. He's going to get 3rd here tonight. Jonathan Cofield gets 4th, and Michael McCarthy gets 5th. McCarthy wins the amateur division. Big deal right there. McCarthy on a 3-race win streak. But it's all about Jeremy Gardner in the number 10 here tonight. He's going to do some donuts right here for us, Dean.
Oh, what I have to do with some nice celebrations in front of Barney the Flagman, getting the job done. Jonathan Caulfield did sneak ahead of Michael right in the dying stages of that race. As you can see, Michael's having some fantastic burnouts as well, too, because he's enjoying his AM class win. And he, as you said, he had to battle Tyler Justice to get that one as well. So good on him, as they both enjoying. Tyres are non-refundable, so that's perfectly fine, gentlemen. Results, Jacob.
Big burnouts going on for both these drivers, Gardner and McCarthy, both of them winning their divisions. I guess you could say Gardner won the race. McCarthy gets the amateur class. Results are in. And Jeremy Gardner gets the win here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway. Jamie Mullins, George Jewell, all three of those drivers. We'll talk to those here in just a second. Jonathan Cofield gets fourth with Michael McCarthy, amateur winner. We'll talk to him as well. Tyler Justice, one spot short of being able to talk to us. He's going to have to wait till next week to have a shot at it. But good drive by Tyler Justice in the 33, 9th to 6th here tonight. Martin Cofield in that 97, one of the biggest movers in the field, started 20th here tonight. He comes home with a top 10. He finishes 7th. Big time drive right there by Mark Cofield, who's been struggling over the past couple of weeks, Dean. So big time drive right there by that 97. Jeremiah Holt, another amateur driver. The amateur drivers kind of whooping up on them pro drivers here tonight. What's up with you pro drivers? Holt will end up finishing 8th here tonight. Eddie Smith will get 9th after that whole Cofield deal, which obviously no harm, no foul between either one of them. It was just racing how it all worked out. But Eddie Smith, 16th, he ends up finishing 9th here tonight. And Brandon Wallace, we didn't talk about him all night long. Might have once, but Brandon Wallace gets him a top 10 here tonight. Devin Smith in the amateur class started 11th. That's exactly where he will finish. James Kaufman started 21st. He ends up finishing 12th. That's a big drive right there by that 25. Good drive by James Kaufman. Chance Taylor will end up finishing 13th. We saw his issues here tonight. Timothy Williams had issues as well. He will finish 14th. Rusty Rafferty started 4th. He ends up finishing 15th after the, I guess you could say, the nose contact of what happened with him and Eddie Smith set him back a little bit. Joshua Unger took a strategy earlier on in the race. It didn't play out for him. He ends up finishing 16th with Matt Knight 17th. Sean Pope McCarthy, part-time driver, started 18th. That's exactly where he finishes. Ricky Sisk Jr. will end up being 19th. Pope McCarthy finished 18th, mind you. Those are the last drivers to finish on the lead lap. Rest of them one lap down or more. Cliff Adams, Doug Ellenson, Jake Ellingson. That's a big one right there, Dean. Obviously a pro driver, started 5th. We expected a lot out of Jake here tonight. And unfortunately, I guess maybe we expected too much, and he's going to be pissed off at us when he finds out that we said that. Started 5th. He's going to end up finishing 22nd here tonight. Chuck Pegleg Phelps will finish 23rd. Patrick Dixon finishing in 24th. And Lucas Lyons, a pro driver, he will end up finishing in the 25th spot. 25 drivers here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with post-race interviews here with Go Locker, here live on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Folks, we're back here at Nashville Superspeedway here with Goat Locker for the Veterans for Life ARCA Series. Got our podium finishers, and hell, why not? We'll go ahead and start with the man, the myth, the legend, Big Daddy. Jeremy Gardner gets the win here tonight. Jeremy, congratulations on the win. Tell us about your race, buddy.
The race was incredibly fun, trying to battle with Cofield all night, try to keep up with him. I bet you me and that dude held pace, I bet you we ran the same lap times for 35, 40 laps. But overall, that was definitely a fun race. I don't drive these cars much. I probably should. They're fun at tracks like this. But I had a great night. Got a little lucky. Beat Cofield off pit road and just happened to win off of that restart right there. Just tried to hold my line and stay consistent and bring it to victory lane.
And, Jeremy, you talked about that just a second ago, beating him off of pit road. Do you think that was the turning point in the race of when you beat him off of pit road and was able to line up on the outside with the Unger that started on the inside on the old tires? Do you think that was the turning point and that's what helped you out here tonight?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I couldn't really get to him all night. I think if I even would have got to him, I would have been able to pass him. Clean air at this track is crucial. Like, you have clean air here, you're good to go. It's just, if you do get to the leader at this track, it's hard to make a pass. The car either plows tight or just plows loose. But I think that was definitely the turning point of the night. So I'm glad I timed that pit stop perfect.
Well, Jeremy Gardner, Big Daddy gets the win here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway. Jeremy, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout-outs that you want to thank?
Yeah, man. Pat and Jamie, Jake also for putting on ARCA. Everybody at GLR who helps put this on every week. Lincoln Tech, Hidden Whip Brewery, Cruising Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Veterans for Life Foundation, Veterans for Life Racing, InVets, Jam Printing and Promotions, V Speed, and of course y'all guys. Y'all put on a hell of a broadcast every week. Y'all are one of my favorite broadcasts to watch. Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing, Above the Yellow Line, and of course my guys over at Premier Racing Setups. Come check us out.
Well, Big Daddy gets the win here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway. Jeremy, appreciate your time. And who knows? Hopefully we'll see you next week up here racing for the Veterans Life ARCA Series. We'd love to have you back, buddy.
We'll see you, buddy. I'll see y'all.
Uh-oh. There he goes. He called it right there, dude. He's going to be back next week. Can't wait to see Gardner, Big Daddy, however the hell you want me to call you at this point. We'll bring in our second place finisher. It's Jamie Mullins in the 66. Started on the outside of the front row, and that's exactly where he finished here tonight. And Jamie, obviously, congratulations on the second place finish. Tell us about your race, because it was a hell of a battle right there between you and McCarthy there for a little bit. We didn't know if neither one of you was going to finish, how hard y'all was racing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There were some good battles really throughout all night. I mean, Mike, he races hard. We race clean together, and we got battling side by side there for a while, and it allowed Cofield and Jeremy to pull away for 4 or 5 seconds. And I knew then. Of course, I didn't have anything for those two guys anyway, but. Man, battling with him, battling with George, battling with Jake there early on. I'm sorry he had some issues there, and I feel bad for it. Hopefully you turn it around, brother, next week.
And Jamie, I will ask you this question, because I've caught some hell here lately, and I need somebody to back me up, and I'm going to ask you this just so you can back me up, because, I give a driver's point of view. Obviously, I race Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and some people say that, I don't know what I'm talking about. So I wanted to try to get your input. I said earlier on that racing here on this concrete, even in these ARCA cars that ain't got a whole lot of horsepower, that, racing on concrete is going to eat up more tire than the asphalt would. Would you please indulge me and, at least, for everybody else, just let everybody know that, yeah, I'm not full of it. I know what the hell I'm talking about. I mean, would you agree with me on that racing on concrete is going to eat up the tires a hell of a lot more than it would be on asphalt?
It wears them out, but to be honest, I drive hard really every lap, but I want to thank Eddie Smith. He put out a video today or a few days whenever he did, and I was able to watch that, and I really learned a lot by just watching his videos on how to drive to save tires for the long run. So Eddie Smith, I really appreciate that, and I know the guys in here do too. And to be honest, that's what helped. The trail braking, never knew it, but Eddie enlightened me on that. But it will eat them up. There was a couple different races going on, guys, that were really fast at the beginning. That would burn them up a little bit, and then I was able to get into a groove and go, and using that trail braking technique, no matter whether it was lap 1 or lap 40, right before a pit stop or something like that. To me, it helped. Of course, you'd have to back the turns up a little bit more to be able to get it to hold the bottom a little bit better. But
Right.
I'm really bad because some people can adjust their brakes, back and forth during the race. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, much less adjust brakes. So I just back my corners up and let it roll.
I'll pretty much just say that you agreed with me on that one just to make me feel a little bit better when I go to sleep here tonight. Jamie Mullins ends up finishing second here tonight. Once again, Jamie, congratulations on that second place finish. Appreciate your time. And as always, before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs that you want to thank?
Oh yeah, there's a ton of them. First off, I want to thank GLR. Without them allowing us to be able to get out here and do this, get away from real life for a couple hours, and get in here with some guys that think like us and enjoy racing around one another. Hopefully, we put on a great show and represented well. Lincoln Tech, the series sponsor, Hidden Whip Brewery, Cruising Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Veterans for Life Foundation. That's my team, and thank you, Jamie, for allowing me to be on board with that. Veterans for Life Racing, InVets, Jam Printing Promotions, McConey Setup Shop, V-Speed, and y'all, NASA 360. It's always going to be an awesome broadcast, and I can't wait to go back and watch it. And then Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, Alexander PCs. Make sure to go in, if you're going to get a PC, use code GOATLOCKER at checkout, and you get $75 off. And $50 of that comes back to GLR to allow them to be able to continue what they're doing with their great cause. Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, of course, iRacing. We wouldn't be on here at all if it wasn't for them. And Above the Yellow Line. And again, Jake, Jamie, Pat, and Jamie Perkins too. Thank y'all very much for everything y'all do for us.
Well, Jamie Mullins gets it done here tonight, gets second. One spot short, but he'll take it all night long. Jamie, appreciate your time, buddy. And congratulations on that second place finish. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. And oh, by the way, go Vols.
Don't even know who that is. That's fine. That's how you.
We'll let it go. We'll let that go. We'll see how that turns out Saturday. Anyway, bring up our third place finisher. And that is George Jordan. George, congratulations on the third place finish. You got your podium here now. I believe it's your very first podium in Goat Locker, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I didn't jinx you. You ain't got to come to Georgia. You ain't got to find me. Thank God. But tell us about your race, buddy, because you had a hell of a race. You really did.
Yeah, that was some fun racing and everything in between all of us. Me and Michael were really battling each other door by door. That gave me a workout there. Jamie Mullins and the team was really helping me work through it, and we were trying to work together and everything to try to pull away. And the race was good. I stayed up front most of the night. I had a bad pit stop on the first round, but we all made it up. We just kind of followed in line and waited for a little bit of mistakes, and it kind of worked out.
And George, you finish, third here tonight. Obviously, that's what you wanted. That's what we talked about, in that mid-race interview. Now you got a little bit of momentum. Obviously, next week going to a short track, going to New Hampshire. You got a little bit of momentum. Are we going to see more of George Jewell up here in this podium, and obviously up there possibly fighting out for a win? Can we see that here in the near future, riding this momentum?
I'm trying every week. I put in my time. I try every week. It's just sometimes I have it and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just can't put a race together. And just tonight it seemed to work out. I like Loudon, but with an ARCA car, I'm not really positive on it. So we'll give it a try.
Dean, the way I look at it, this is a win for the good guys here tonight. George Jewell gets him a podium finish here tonight, finishes third here at Nashville Superspeedway. George, appreciate your time. Congratulations on it, buddy. I told you last week. I think it's a big deal when people come on the damn podcast. They end up just coming out of nowhere and they just end up breaking out and getting a good finish. But George, appreciate your time. Congratulations on that. Before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs that you want to thank?
Yeah, GLR and all the admins, what they do is they put on some practices, they set up the races, and I really appreciate all their time that they put into this. Lincoln Tech, Hidden Whip Brewery, Cruising Classics, Veterans for Life Foundation, the Veterans for Life Racing Team. Thank you, Jamie, for allowing me to be on here, and I'm getting momentum like he says, and hopefully we can go a little further. In vets, Jam's putting in promotions. Nazra, I love you guys. I enjoy really watching your guys' up there. Indiana Department of Veterans, and I picked up an Alexander PC, and it's working great. And we'll just see if I can keep it going. And I got to give a shout out to all my friends at Above the Line podcast, Above the Yellow Line, sorry, and down in Florida, BCI Communications. And thanks to my wife for putting it up to me and putting up with me, and we'll see if we can keep going.
I was fixing to say, if you didn't call out Shasta right there, you're just going to catch a lot of hell when you got out of that rig. George, appreciate your time, buddy. Congratulations on that third place finish. We'll see you next week at New Hampshire, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys have a good evening.
That was George. Jewell gets
He would've had
third
beef
here
with you
tonight.
too,
Now,
Jacob, if,
he probably would have.
if
If he wouldn't have got that podium,
interview during the podium.
Yeah. If we wouldn't have got that podium, I'd have. It's like I said on the broadcast. You wouldn't have saw me last night or tomorrow night for the cops race. My ass would have been gone. I'd have been out of here. Now we'll go to the fourth member of the interviews, and I gotta say, this guy's starting to, I guess you could say, kind of get used to this. 3 races in a row we've talked to this man right here, Michael McCarthy, winning the amateur division for the 3rd race in a row. Michael, congratulations on that 5th place finish, winning the amateur division, I should say. Tell us about your race.
It was a good race. Shout out to I forgot who finished first, but Gardner, he put on a clinic. He just pretty much in the lead the whole time. I raced hard with damn near everybody in the top 5. Jewell and Mullins and Cofield. Cofield beat me at the end there by like 2/1000ths of a second. I think if I would have tracked him down at the start finish line because he went under the yellow line there, I think I would have had the win, but 4th place. But it was good racing. We raced hard and clean, and it was a ton of fun.
Hey, you should have just door banged him. Hell, he wouldn't have cared. But anyway, Michael, it's like I said, you're kind of on. I'll put it to you like this: you're on a winning streak. Granted, you're not winning the races, but you're consistently finishing ahead of everybody in your class. It's got to give you some sort of what's the word I'm looking for here? It's got to give you a lot of momentum. Granted, you're not winning races, but you're still beating everybody in your division. You're still blowing that wide open right there. What's the chances we talk to you next week at New Hampshire at this point? Because it seems like every damn week we talk to you.
We'll see, man. Not to toot my own horn here, but my first race in the ARCA series I did was Indianapolis only 4 weeks ago. So this is my 3rd win in only 4 weeks running the series. I finished in the top 5 or the top 10 in like probably 10 or 11 weeks out of the last 12 weeks I've ran across all of GLR series that I run in. So just staying consistent is just the key. I'm just trying to finish where I'm supposed to finish. Next week I'll be in Wisconsin for a work trip, so I'm gonna try to make it home on Thursday for the race. But we'll see if I make it next week. I might have to give it to somebody else.
Oh no! Hell no! You can't do that. You can't do that. Tell work to piss off. You got to be there for that. You have to be there for that. I'll say this: if he's there, if you're there, if I'm a betting man, which I am, I'd put money on you. 9 ways to Sunday. Michael McCarthy wins the amateur division here tonight, gets 5th. Michael, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the amateur class win. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs that you want to thank?
First and foremost, shout out to Buc-ee's. Love Buc-ee's. I don't take any Buc-ee's disrespect, Jake. Not in the breakfast or anything else. I want to shout out to my daughter. It's her 2nd birthday on Sunday. Looking forward to it. Shout out to Lincoln Tech for making all this stuff happen. Hidden Wood Brewery, Cruising Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Veterans for Life Foundation, Veterans for Life Racing, Invents, Jen Printing and Promotions, Maconi Setup Shop, V Speed, and Nashville 360. You guys, Jake and Bagels, you guys do a great job. Appreciate it.
Well, happy birthday to Little Miss McCarthy. Big time deal right there for the McCarthy family and leading that amateur division, basically waxing every damn one of them each and every week. Michael McCarthy, gets the amateur division here tonight. Finishes 5th. Michael, appreciate your time. And hopefully, if you can get back from work, hopefully we'll see you next week at New Hampshire.
Jacob comes up. Zep, thank you, Michael. I've come to think of it. We got from Daniel the updated standings saying that the pro leader is still Jacob Ellingson, so that's good considering Jacob didn't have a very good race. He finished in the pit stops, unfortunately, with repairs. But it's showing that the AM leader is Tyler Justice. So, that's what it's saying. But, I mean, Tyler Justice did finish behind Brad Protest. But Michael Scott taking some extra points out of Tyler, so...
I'd protest that 9 ways of Sunday. That's exactly what I would do. I would protest the hell out of it. That's just my opinion.
This is the overall updated standings, not just for this race. The overall for all the races. Yeah. All right.
I'd still protest it. I wouldn't deal with it. But anyway, Dean, I gotta say this. You blushing? You blushing? These boys over there love us, baby. We've already got a lot of love. Everybody loving us. You blushing? You gotta be. Give us your final thoughts on a fantastic race here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway.
Well, it's good to have you back up at the booth, and it seems to be everybody that goes on your show, Jacob, start performing quite well, so congratulations to those drivers. It was a good race. A couple of cautions throw us better in the mix, but overall good. And those saves, unbelievable for some of the drivers. Unfortunate, of course, for Jake and a few of the others too, like Cliff Adams and Sean Pope and things, but still fun racing. Jacob, and we got more to come too, my friend.
You damn right we do. We got a lot on our plate here with Nazareth racing literally 5 nights a week, but there you see Goat Locker right there. Obviously, we got the Veterans for Life ARCA Series. New Hampshire's the next race. Then we're going to go to Texas. Not really sure if that's Legacy, Texas, New Texas. Not really sure exactly which one. We'll go to Richmond, then Kentucky, Iowa. Hopefully, and you know me, hopefully New Atlanta, because we love chaos. We love that Nazareth chaos, even for Goat Locker. Hell, we'll take it. Now it's Sunday, Vegas, and then obviously right before Christmas, somebody's going to get them a little Christmas present, and they're going to be the Veterans for Life ARCA Series champion. You'll see every bit of it here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday nights. There you see what Goat Locker's doing for the fall, obviously Tuesday nights. Xfinity Series, Hidden Whip Brewery Company, Cruising Classics Next Gen Series, obviously on Fridays, Veterans for Life Racing Truck Series, InVets Truck Series as well on Sundays, and obviously where everybody is right now on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network for the Veterans for Life ARCA Series. And, Goat Locker's got it going on damn near 5 nights a week. Guess what? Nazareth 360's got it going on 5 nights a week. Next race is going to be the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series tomorrow night at Michigan live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This Monday for the DSR Electric Truck Series be in Atlanta. Hey, Dean, I know a thing or two about running Atlanta, getting a little lucky as well, but that'll be the DSR Electric Truck Series kicking off the next round in their playoffs Monday night at 9. Tuesday night, Blanchard's Toyota Xfinity Series, wherever the hell they're at, but I'll be racing in it. I don't even know where it's at. But Wednesday nights, obviously, going to be the Gen 6 for the new Nazareth Cup Series, I should say. It's going to be in the Gen 6 at Homestead. And then obviously we'll be right back here with Goat Locker next week at New Hampshire. Thank the fans, thank the sponsors, thank the drivers, each and every one of them, for everything that they do. Man, I'm telling you, I have an absolute blast coming out here with Goat Locker every single Thursday night, coming out here, talking to the fans, just having a good time, Dean. I mean, that's what it's all about. We come out here, associate, build a brand, however you want to look at it, but the main thing is to have fun. Lincoln Tech, one of those sponsors, Hidden Whip Brewery, Cruising Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Veterans for Life Foundation, Veterans for Life Racing, InVets, Jam Printing Promotions, your poll sponsor, award winner, McConey Setup Shop, V-Speed, damn well, us, the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, also Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing, because if it wasn't for iRacing, we'd just be staring at a damn blank TV above the yellow line. And also a sponsor as well with Goat Locker, the Door Banging Download. Go check them out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Appreciate Cody, Not, Brady LaBeouf, everything that they do for the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. For the Australian Dean Hopton Bengals, I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, saying as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast, and folks, we're going short track racing. We're going up north where the open wheel modifieds run, the Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Do not miss that for Goat Locker next week for the Veterans Fly ARCA Series. And also tune in tomorrow night if you want to hear the redneck announcer again for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Getting close to the end of the playoffs. We'll be at Michigan. But make damn sure you keep following Goat Locker and the Veterans Fly ARCA Series. New Hampshire, October 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live and only on the NASRA 360 Racing Network.